Hello, everybody, and welcome to the List Critics February edition. It should be cold as shit out, but it's not. I have you with me, my special guest co-host, Tanya Botelho.
What?
Say hi, Tanya.
What up, everyone? Upside down bagels.
Yes, they are the most evil things in existence. 2 episodes ago, we had a bunch of lists that you wrote.
Yes.
Actually, no, that was last episode.
That was last episode, yeah.
And your wife was my co-host, and we had lists that you wrote.
Yeah.
And now you're hosting.
I'm hosting, because I'm just...
How's it feel?
It feels better than figure skating without sandals. I have no idea.
Wow, alright. It should feel better than that.
It feels great, actually, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Alright, so we're going to get right into it, because I have a lot to get through here.
Okay.
A lot of people sent in their lists. I have a few that I picked out that were just found in my wanderings on the internet that I thought had to be read out here. So let's start. Awesome Gamer sent me his top 15 Zelda games.
Oh, sweet deal, okay.
So basically he listed 15 Zelda games and ranked them from best to worst. We'll start with worst.
Okay.
Number 15, we have the Oracle games. I guess he's lumping them as one thing. Now, I thought they were good.
I thought they were good, too, but, all right.
I wouldn't put them in the last place.
No, I put them maybe like 12 or 11 or something like that.
Yeah. At number 14, he's got Phantom Hourglass.
Really? Phantom Hourglass?
I didn't have much patience for that one, personally.
Okay.
I've tried to get through it, but it's just difficult. Part of it is you can't use the controller at all. You have to use the stylus for everything.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Number 13, he's got the Four Swords.
Oh, I like the Four Swords.
I like the Four Swords, too. I'm noticing, actually, he specifies, he put it in parentheses, Four Swords, and he put Game Boy Advance DSi in parentheses. And just looking down the list, he does not have Four Swords Adventures anywhere on the list, which leads me to believe either that he doesn't think it's worthy of being in the top 15, or perhaps he hasn't played it. But I gotta recommend it. It's better than the original.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Number 12, he's got Link's Awakening.
That should be way up higher, I think.
I agree. You know who would be raging right now?
Who?
Would our friend Andrew? He would be like, "Fuck!"
Andrew.
Link's Awakening is his favorite of the series.
I love Link's Awakening. It's great.
I like it too. I don't know why he has it so low, especially considering that number 11 is Spirit Tracks. Now, if I was to put any Zelda game as dead last, it would be Spirit Tracks.
I was just gonna say the same thing. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, trains. What the fuck? I like trains. Trains are awesome, but
no.
Zelda.
Not in Zelda. No.
Yeah, it's weird. No, the only train I want to see in an RPG is like a ghost train that you fight in Final Fantasy.
The Phantom Train, love it.
The Phantom Train, yeah. I love when you fight like phantom trains and ghost ships, like you're basically fighting a vehicle.
Oh, I love it too because it's so fantastic. You're just gonna love it.
Yeah. Number 10, he's got A Link to the Past. That is very low for A Link
to the Past.
No
fucking way.
Seriously?
Okay, now I'm raging. Now I'm officially raging.
Fuck! Now, I would, honestly, I would have that at number 2.
I'd have that number 1, actually, for me. That's my favorite. That's my favorite Zelda game.
Yeah, it's my second favorite. Well, you know what my favorite is.
I know what your favorite is, yeah.
Yeah. Number 9, he's got Minish Cap. I will admit I haven't played Minish Cap
I have not played it either, so I couldn't tell you.
It was developed by Capcom. How bad could it be?
Can't be that bad, but hey.
Number 7, Ocarina of Time.
Okay, now that should be much higher.
I don't know. I kind of agree with his placement generally. He put a little note here. He says, "I've rethought my placement." I don't know if that means he moved it up or moved it down.
I think he moved it down because, Ocarina of Time is a masterpiece.
I don't know if I'd call it a masterpiece. It's a very good game, but I don't know if I'd call it a masterpiece.
I love it. I love that game. That's like number 3 for me.
I skipped one, actually.
Oh.
I'm fucking up here. Number 8 was Majora's Mask, and then number 7 was Ocarina of Time.
Majora's Mask, I'll agree with.
Majora's Mask I didn't like so much.
I didn't like that much, so...
Yeah. Number 6, so getting into the better ones here, Zelda 2.
Oh.
A lot of people rank Zelda 2 very low. I happen to like it a lot, so I'm glad that he places it high up.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Number 5, he's got Twilight Princess.
Uh,
or as I call it, Ocarina of Time Part Two.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same game basically. I think I like Twilight Princess a little bit more than Ocarina of Time, so I do agree with his assessment here.
Eh,
Number four, we have the original Legend of Zelda, which it's a classic. I wouldn't put it that high, but it is a
it's
classic.
definitely classic, yeah.
Yeah. Number three is my personal favorite, Wind Waker.
When
Wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense. Okay, yeah, well, he has Wind Waker at number three. Okay, Awesome Gamer has broken the cardinal rule of list making, and he has put something on the list twice.
Ah,
Because number two is Ocarina of Time.
okay.
So I get that he rethought his placement, but he didn't.
You
didn't.
got it wrong.
He didn't take one. He didn't take it out. So it's not really top 15 Zelda games. It's top 14 Zelda games.
Oh, well, in this case, you should use your veto power and get rid of one of them.
Well, actually, I'm going to use my veto power to say it is the top 15 Zelda games, and that we're counting the two Oracle games separately.
Ah, okay, good idea.
Okay, so number two is Ocarina of Time. It's not. Number two is Wind Waker.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And pretend all the numbers I said were one less than what I said.
It works for me.
And number one is Skyward Sword. And I haven't played it. I honestly, I'm not feeling that one.
Okay, now, I actually did get to play it.
Yeah.
And honestly,
Let me guess. Good, but not great.
it's a good game. I'm not
Yeah.
taking that away from it, but it was nothing even remotely close to great.
That's what I thought. I just looking at it, I'm like, it looks okay, but it doesn't. I don't know. I'm kind of over the whole Zelda series, to be honest.
Yeah, it is the art in it. It just didn't grab me. The graphics didn't.
Well, the
grab
art is the worst part of it.
it doesn't
Definitely.
grab me. It doesn't
Yeah.
have that spark. You know what I'm trying to say?
Well, our mutual friend Brandy played through it, and she said it was good but not great also. So that
Yeah.
seems to be most of the people that I know. I know a few people are saying it's like the best thing since sliced bread, but
I don't.
I don't know. Sliced bread is pretty fucking
I
awesome.
like sliced bread. So,
So I don't know about that, but I find this list to be highly questionable. He did break a cardinal rule. He has Ocarina of Time on there twice. I'm gonna give this list out of 15. I'm gonna give it a 7.
I'm actually going to be a little. I'm actually going to go a little lower and say a 6.
See, I had a feeling that you were going to be harsher than me on a lot of these. So let's see if that holds up. Okay, so moving along, we have a list from Uber McPhail Sauce. It's a top 5 list. It's his top 5 favorite comic book characters.
Top 5 here. Okay, I can deal with that. It's pretty cool. All right.
It's pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
Now at number 5, speaking of not being reasonable, at number 5 he has the Flaming Carrot.
What?
Now I've heard of this Flaming Carrot. I don't quite understand the appeal personally. Have you ever seen this thing?
I've never seen this thing.
Let me send you a picture of this. Let
Yeah.
me get it. The Flaming Carrot, it's sort of an indie comic from what I understand.
I've never even heard of it.
And it's literally just like a dude, except he doesn't have a head, and in place of his head is a huge carrot.
That-
And instead of the like the green part on the top, it's like fire. Oh, and he doesn't have feet either. He has like flippers or something.
That's nuts. I love it.
Yeah, I know. Right? Okay, here's I just sent you a picture of the Flaming Carrot.
All right, let's see here. Hold on.
It's supposed to be surreal and bizarre and
Wow.
yeah. I've never read any of the comics, so I can't.
I can't comment on it, but it's a pretty epic picture, though.
Yeah, I know, right? Number 4, he has Nightcrawler from the X-Men. Now, I'm not really an X-Men fan, but
I am.
Nightcrawler's pretty cool.
Nightcrawler's pretty cool. I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nightcrawler's pretty cool. I like the movies a lot better than I like the comics, and the second movie was my favorite, and probably my favorite character in the whole thing was Nightcrawler. So
Oh, I love Nightcrawler.
there you go.
Great.
Number 3. Now he's got to be a little more specific because he's got Captain Marvel at number 3, and I don't know which Captain Marvel he means because there's a DC Captain Marvel and there's a Marvel Captain.
And there's a Marvel Captain Marvel. There's 2 of them. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna assume he means the DC one because the other one they killed off like in the 80s.
Yeah. So I'll go with that one
So
too.
it's probably more likely that he means the Shazam guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now he gets a lot of flack for being corny and kind of a rip off of Superman, but it depends on who's writing him. And I read a really good story that Jeff Smith wrote called Shazam and the Monster Society of Evil or some shit like that.
Oh, okay.
And it kind of had like almost like a Harry Potter vibe to it, because you think you got this this young homeless kid who gets whisked away, and there's this wizard and he gives him special powers and everything.
Well, that's pretty cool.
And I was thinking that was Harry Potter before there was Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Because that was created in the 40s.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, my grandmother told me once she was a huge fan of Captain Marvel.
Oh, wow.
When she was a little girl, and of course I said, "Did you keep any of those comics?" And she said, "No, of course not."
Damn it.
Well, you know how much they would be worth.
Thousands.
Oh, tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands.
It's a pretty good one, actually. I like.
But do you remember a while back? I have to kind of go on a bender here because you mentioned Captain Marvel, and I hope he's talking about the same one I am. Do you remember a while back when I had Captain Marvel as my icon on YouTube?
I do. Yep.
Yeah, and that was I did that after my grandfather passed away.
Oh.
And he was a goofball guy throughout his whole life, and I found out that the first time he met my grandmother, he was at the beach in Coney Island dressed as Captain Marvel, jumping around and going Shazam and flirting with girls, and that's how he met her.
That's epic.
Yeah. And then I thought about it, I'm like, he kind of looked like him, too.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. So after he passed away, me and a bunch of other people in my family all changed our Facebook icons and and I did it to YouTube too, to be Captain Marvel. So that was pretty cool. Number 2, he's got Batman.
Okay, well, I'm down with that.
How the hell is Batman number 2? Who beats Batman?
I don't know. Batman would be number 1 for me, but that's.
Well, Batman. Okay, honestly, Batman would be number 2 for me because Green Lantern would be number 1.
Well, okay, but no, Batman.
I'm looking at number 1, and it's a bizarre choice.
What is it?
It's the Martian Manhunter.
Really?
Now I like the Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, me too. But
number 1.
Number
wow,
1?
Really?
It
must suck to have Martian Manhunter as your favorite comic book guy because he never really had his own book, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's kind of. Well,
he always kind of gets shoved to the side.
Yeah, I'm questioning number 1, but the rest of them are pretty good, except
Well, it's his favorite. It's his opinion.
Yeah.
There's nothing on here that I find to be stupid.
No, definitely not.
Flaming Carrot's weird, but it's like the cool kind of weird.
I kind of like it. Really like it.
Yeah. It's a cool design, anyway. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5.
I'm going to have to go with that, actually. 5 out of 5. Yeah.
Cool. Now, this is interesting, and I swear I didn't plan it to be this way. But my next list is from a completely different person. This is from Mr. Lover of Ganja, who sent me a list of the top 10 lamest superheroes of all time.
Oh, wow.
Now, he didn't write this one. This was because they can find lists that other people wrote and send them in.
Oh, okay.
This was from Confessions of a Pop Culture Addict, and it was written by someone named Quinn Martin.
Okay.
So here's his top 10 lamest superheroes of all time. I'm willing to bet that half of these guys you never heard of. Half of these guys, let's see. I'm just gonna look through this real fast. Okay, I've heard of a good amount of them, but there's a few really weird ones in here.
All right.
All right. Number 10 is Cypher. Cypher was. Do you remember the New Mutants? You're an X-Men fan. You should know that.
The Mutants. Yes, I do.
They were like the X-Men, only they were kids.
They were kids.
He was,
yeah.
He was on there, and
Cypher.
Cypher. His power was that he understood any language.
Yes, I remember. Oh,
but
wow.
when you're doing an action thing, it's like, okay, you got this guy who understands language. That's not really.
That's really, it's pretty lame, actually. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of almost like having like C-3PO on the X-Men. It's not exciting. Number 9 is the Red Bee. Now, I've never heard of the Red Bee, and they don't even have a picture of him. Apparently, the Red Bee appeared in the 1940s. And he was just like some guy who wore like a hat and a mask and punched people. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, according to this, it says he wore a red pirate shirt with pink poofy sleeves and red and yellow striped tights.
Well, I'll have to give a point to anybody who wears poofy sleeves, so I'm down with that.
You know what? I gotta find a picture of this. They don't have a picture, or rather, they have a picture that doesn't load. So, okay, I found the Wikipedia. Do they have a picture? Oh, that can't be the same character. Oh my God, really? Okay, yeah, there's been more than one Red Bee, but I found the original one. Once you see this, you're gonna. He looks like a gay nutcracker. Take a look at this. I'm sending you the pictures. This is Hit Comics #1, his first appearance. The Red Bee.
Wow.
and the poofy shirt doesn't even look like a poofy shirt. It looks like a giant oversized condom that he put on his
it really
arms
does.
There. That is pretty lame.
That's wow. Okay, yeah.
He's got the Buck Rogers water gun there, apparently.
That is
because look, he's shooting water at pirates.
He's shooting water at pirates.
I think they'd be pretty used to it. I don't know, maybe it's acid or something, who knows.
That's so bad. Alright, yeah.
According to this, he also had a trained bumblebee named Michael that lived in his belt buckle.
Okay, you know what? Now,
why is he not #1?
I was just going to say,
yeah.
Wow.
Okay, alright. Well, number 8 is also pretty terrible. Number 8 is Brother Power the Geek. Have you ever heard of this one?
Yes.
Yeah. For anybody who doesn't know, Brother Power the Geek was basically a mannequin who was possessed by a hippie.
It was so bad.
It was supposed to be. It was supposed to appeal to hippies, and I guess maybe you had to be on some serious drugs to understand the whole concept of Brother Power the Geek.
Yeah, if you're sober in any way, fashion, or form, then no, no.
even the name just sucks.
That's pretty damn lame. Yeah, I agree with that totally. Yeah.
Yeah. He's fighting against the man. Number 7. Now, you can put half of the Legion of Superheroes on this list, but number 7 is probably one of the lamest members of the Legion of Superheroes. We have Matter Eater Lad.
Okay.
Now, I know that all the Legion of Superheroes, all of them have these terrible names that just describe what they do. And they're all like teenagers, so it's all like, Saturn Girl and Lightning Lad and crap like that. But if you calling yourself Matter Eater Lad, it's time to hang up your tights and just like become a clerical worker or something.
I agree.
I mean, like, he eats food. Like, he eats stuff. That's his power. Super eating. Like, if you needed to get through like a bank vault, you could have him eat it.
Yeah, it's
what a schmuck.
Yeah.
What a schmuck.
This list is perfect so far. It really is.
Yeah, these are pretty lame. Number 6 is Dog Welder. Now, Dog Welder, I remember.
I don't remember that one.
It was in the series Hitman, which was a DC thing that was kind of like half superhero, half comedy. I mean, like, the guy, he was just basically an assassin who had like X-ray vision, and like in the first issue he pukes on Batman's shoes. I mean, that's funny.
That's pretty interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Dog Welder was like this vigilante who had like a whole like bag of dead dogs, and he would weld them to your face.
Weld them to... Wow.
I don't think that it's a lame thing more than it's literally a joke. Like, he's a joke.
It's like a running joke, basically.
Yeah, you can't put a character on here that was created to be a joke.
Yeah, because that's not really lame per se. It's just what it is.
It's weird, yeah.
Right.
It's weird, but it was never meant to be taken seriously. Yeah. So, as the way they put it, you try to rob a bank, you wind up with a Lopsa Opso welded to your face. Okay, back to the lame ones for number 5. We have another Legion of Superheroes moron, Arm Fall Off Boy.
Oh, yeah. Okay, just the name alone should give it away.
Like, couldn't you come up with something? His arms come off. That's it. Actually, only one of his arms come off.
Yeah, and I think it was...
Yeah, his left arm comes off, and
his left arm.
Yeah, and he clubs... Yeah, they show a picture, and he clubs people with it.
Yeah.
Like, at that point, why don't you just... Isn't your power basically punching someone, then?
Right, why does it just punch somebody?
Yeah, that's just, like... Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
Apparently, he was so lame that they didn't even let him into the Legion of Superheroes.
That's pretty fucking lame.
Yeah. Number 4 is Vibe. Now, I don't know. Vibe was sort of a product of the 80s. I don't know. he was he was like he was I have a soft spot because he's a Hispanic superhero and you don't get many of them.
Mm.
But basically, he had powers that made things like vibrate, and he would like shake the ground apart or whatever. Like kind of like the Shocker or something.
Oh, I got you. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he had a pretty lame costume though. Let me show you the costume. The costume sucks.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Sending you the costume.
Oh, let's see.
But I mean, you look at it and you're like, yeah, it was the '80s,
Oh, that's definitely a product of the '80s.
Yeah. Now, number 3, we have a team here. We have the Legion of Super Pets, and it's like like Superman's dog and like Supergirl's cat and horse, and there's a monkey in there somehow.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with all that right there.
I like the dog. I like Crypto's is cool, but then they're like, okay, well, Superman has a dog, so we gotta like give Supergirl a cat and a horse. And then we got to have a monkey somehow, and it's just like, okay, you took a good concept and you took it like about 3 notches too far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So. Number 2 is Zan from the Wonder Twins. I guess that was from the Super Friends cartoon.
Was that from Super Friends cartoon?
Yeah, that's what it says here. I get he was the one that turned into water.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a while since I thought about that one.
Yeah, him and his sister. Basically, he touches his sister, and they.
Sorry.
Yeah. True story, bro. Him and his sister they grab hands and they yell their lame catchphrase, and she would turn into some sort of animal, and he would turn into water. So she would get to be like a rhino or a tiger or something, and he'd be like ice cubes.
So she's the cool one, he's the lame one.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
And at number 1, we have Aqualad.
Aqualad?
That was Aquaman's sidekick.
I don't even remember Aqualad. Wow.
Well, he was a lame white boy with an afro. Of course you don't remember him.
No wonder why he's so damn lame.
He sucks. I mean, here, I happen to think Aquaman is vastly underrated, but Aqualad is a fucking schmuck. I mean, look at him. You just want to punch him in his face when you look at him.
Let me see. You're right, I do want to punch him in his face.
What a fucking schmuck. I don't know if he's the lamest superhero of all time. Out of all of these, I think Arm Fall Off Boy should have been at number 1.
I have to agree with that one, actually, yeah.
But I disagree with the order slightly, and I don't think that Dog Welder really belongs on this list. But I find it to be highly entertaining, and I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. I knew you'd be harsher, see? See? You better send in better lists. Tanya's going to fuck your shit up. Okay, now I have a list here from Razarath92.
Oh, I know Razarath. Hi, Razarath.
Yeah. And this is his top 50 favorite musical artists.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
So I'll start from number 50. Since 50's a lot, I'm gonna go through 10 of them and then we'll comment.
Okay.
Yeah, like that. So at number 50 he has The Clash. At number 49 he has Death. At number 48 he has any band featuring Ronnie James Dio. So I guess that would be Rainbow, Dio, and Black Sabbath. At number 47 he has Dream Theater. At number 46 he has Dragon Force. At number 45 he has David Bowie. At number 44 is Elton John. At number 43 is The White Stripes. At number 42 NWA. Number 41 Run DMC. And number 40 Aerosmith.
Well, personally I have to disagree with some of the order on that list, especially Dream Theater.
Yeah. He certainly got a wide range of musical taste there.
Aerosmith, Dream Theater, it's huge differences.
Yeah, I mean he's got rock, he's got hip hop, he's got metal, he's got punk.
NWA, I haven't heard NWA in a long time.
Oh man, wasn't Dr. Dre in that?
Yeah, Dr. Dre and Eazy-E. Yep.
Yeah. Oh man. All right, moving on. Number 39, Public Enemy. Number 38, Elvis Costello. Number 37, Bob Marley. Oh, actually, you know what? He has a note here. He says everything after number 6 is out of order, so not worried about the order so much.
All right, then.
Number 36, Elvis Presley. Number 35, The Sex Pistols. Number 34, Eminem. Number 33, Black Sabbath. Number 32, Sepultura. Number 31, Michael Jackson. And number 30, Neil Young. Now, I gotta say, I'm gonna take 5 points right off the bat for having Eminem on the list.
I was just thinking that. Wow, you're in my head again.
Yeah.
Seriously. I can't stand Eminem, so...
He's a schmuck.
Yeah.
But so far, everybody else is pretty standard.
Yeah, I mean, I love Black Sabbath, so I'm down with that.
Yeah. Well, he's got he's got Black Sabbath, and then he's got Black Sabbath with Dio, if you think about it. So.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay.
Yeah. Number 29 is Eric Clapton. Number 28 is Fiona Apple. Number 27 is Creedence Clearwater Revival. Number 26 is Fleetwood Mac. Number 25, Nine Inch Nails. Number 24, Megadeth. Number 23, Metallica. Number 22, Frank Sinatra. Number 21, Harry Nilsson. And number 20, Johnny Cash. Did you ever think that you would see, in this order, Megadeth, Metallica, Frank Sinatra?
No, never. That totally threw me off. Wow.
I love this list for that.
That's great.
Yeah, that's funny. I love that he goes into the kind of crazy shit like that. Moving on. Number 19 is Yes. Number 18 is REM. Number 17 is Radiohead. Number 16 is Led Zeppelin. Number 15 is Frank Zappa. Number 14 is Captain Beefheart and his Magic Band. Number 13 is Pink Floyd. Number 12 is the Rolling Stones. And number 11 is Jimi Hendrix. And number 10 is the Beatles. Okay, definitely getting points off for the Rolling Stones.
I don't think the Rolling Stones were on there.
I can't stand the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, I can't either.
But that is balanced out by having Frank Zappa on there, because Frank Zappa is God. So
he's epic. So
yeah. And here's the top 10. Number 9 is Green Day. Number 8 is The Doors. Number 7 is The Who. Number 6 is Leonard Cohen. Number 5, Bob Dylan. Number 4, Tom Waits. Number 3, Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Really? Number 2 is Nirvana. And number 1 is Marilyn Manson. You have this list full of mostly amazing artists, and then you top it with Marilyn Manson.
Okay, now hold on. Now, I do like Marilyn Manson's music. I do. I was just listening to The Beautiful People earlier today. But it's not...
you know what? It's funny. I like him as a person. Like, I've seen many interviews with him, and he comes off as a very intelligent and well-spoken person who has a lot of good things to say. And then I listen to his music, and I'm like, oh, come on. You're just pandering.
Well, it's... I don't really think he should be number 1. I mean, especially over, like, Metallica,
I don't think he should be number 1 million. Well, the list had its ups and downs. Out of 50, I'm going to give it a 37.
You're being a little more generous than me. I'm actually going to go with a 35.
Oh, okay. 37, 35. So not terrible, but needs work,
I really don't agree with Green Day being in the top 10, but that's my opinion, though.
I like Green Day. I wouldn't put them in my top 10 artists, but I do like them.
I like them too, but I wouldn't put them top 10, though.
Okay, now this next list is from Pajiba.com. It was written by Dustin Rowles, and it was sent in by Uber McPhailsauce.
Oh, okay.
It is the 10 worst live-action movies based on cartoons. So talking about, like, you have a cartoon and you make like a movie, but it's not a cartoon. Okay, so number 10, we have Popeye.
I agree.
Remember that with Robin Williams? I don't know. Maybe it's because I watched it when I was a kid and I haven't seen it back since then, but I liked it when I was a kid.
Oh, when I was a kid, I liked it, but I saw it recently.
I'm a huge fan of Robin Williams. So.
Oh, me too. But recently, it sucks. It does.
It really, yeah. Is it that bad? You know what? There was one weird thing about Popeye that I even as a kid I noticed, is that Robin Williams did this impeccable Popeye voice, and then he would start singing, and it would be like a completely different voice.
It was like he started on Popeye, ended up in Genie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
And then after he's done singing, he would go back to the Popeye voice.
Yeah, it was really weird. Yeah.
I mean, I personally don't think it should have been a musical anyway. But
No.
now number 9 is George of the Jungle. I think Brendan Fraser was in that one. I haven't actually seen that.
I have, and Brendan Fraser was in it, and it was not good. So yeah.
Speaking of Brendan Fraser, in a terrible movie based on a classic cartoon, number 8 is Dudley Do-Right.
Dudley Do-Right. I remember that movie.
I'm surprised. You know what's funny? George of the Jungle and Dudley Do-Right, between the two of them, had maybe 20 episodes of the show. And then they both got made into major motion pictures. How did that happen?
I don't know, because like there's cartoons that are going now for eons, and
Yeah.
but
Yeah. It took 21 seasons to get to a Simpsons movie.
yeah.
But only 13 episodes to get to a George of the Jungle movie. So, number 7 is Fat Albert. I also did not watch.
I didn't watch that one, so.
Yeah. Number 6 is Dennis the Menace. Now I had seen Dennis the Menace.
Did I?
I thought it was funny. Walter Matthau was in it, and that's always a plus. I didn't think it was that bad.
I thought it was okay, but
Yeah, I don't think it's like, worse than, Fat Albert or Dudley Do-Right.
No.
So. Number 5 is, it's a twofer. It's the Flintstones and the Flintstones in Viva Rock Vegas. So both terrible Flintstones movies.
I agree.
They had a great cast and
They floundered
a
it.
terrible premise of taking the Flintstones and making them live action.
It was a bad idea from its inception.
I mean, okay, you look at Fred and Barney, you got John Goodman and Rick Moranis. That's awesome.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely.
And then you just make it into a piece of shit.
What they should have done is they should have kept all the cast for the voices and done a voice.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. That way I don't have to look at Rosie O'Donnell dressed as Betty Rubble. Betty Rubble was supposed to be hot. I don't know how that happened.
I don't know either.
That was a joke. And then the B-52s did the theme song. That made me want to vomit my
Oh,
ass.
I couldn't believe it.
I can't stand the B-52s. They're terrible.
Oh, they are. They're horrible. Horrible.
All right, number 4 is also another twofer. It's both Scooby-Doo movies. Now, I haven't seen the second one, which apparently, according to this, is called Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. I tried to watch the first Scooby-Doo movie because I was a fan of the show, and I turned it off about 20 minutes in. And then I came back to it and I watched the ending, and I was like, nope, didn't get any better.
I watched both of them because my two nieces. I have to watch these movies, and
Yeah.
and I can honestly say that I fell asleep during the first one, and the second one I wanted to vomit my sandy out of my eye sockets.
I didn't understand why everybody was a human, like a live action person, and Scooby-Doo was a cartoon.
Yeah, it was like everybody was live except for Scooby. He was CGI.
That was weird.
Yeah,
I couldn't get over that. Number 30 is both Garfield movies. Now, I refuse to see them, even though it's Bill Murray.
Even
You know what I mean?
Even Bill Murray says that they're horrible movies. So it's like,
Well, did you see Zombieland?
yeah, I love
I didn't.
Land.
I didn't even like Zombieland.
I
But the part that I did like was with Bill Murray, and I love when he gets shot and he's like dying, and they said, "Do you have any regrets?" And he goes, "Well, Garfield." So there you go. Number 2 is Inspector Gadget. I've never seen the Inspector Gadget movie. I was warned off of it.
I think I might have caught some of it when I was young.
I was a big fan of Inspector Gadget when I was a little
Oh, the
kid.
cartoon, I loved it, but
Yeah. But just looking at the movie, you can tell it bears like no relation to it whatsoever.
which is sad.
Now, number 1, I have to disagree with this for several reasons. Number 1 is The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle. Now, the number 1 reason that I would disagree with that is the movie was fucking hilarious. I laughed my ass off at that movie. The second is they're still cartoons, so I don't know if you could really call that. I mean, it had live action people in it, but I wouldn't call it a live action movie.
Well, I mean, it's almost like saying, like, Who's Framed Roger Rabbit is a live action movie. It is and it isn't. You know?
Yeah, it's a hybrid. I thought it was very. I think you have to come into it with a really different perspective because it was sort of making fun of a lot of the other things on this list.
I actually do like Rocky and Bullwinkle, so I
Yeah.
actually like the movie. So
I thought it was. I expected it to be bad,
oh,
and I found it to be really clever, which I didn't expect at all.
they took
And they took a lot of risks.
they did they did.
So I disagree very much with that. The rest of the list is spot on, though. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 9 out of 10.
I have to agree. 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna be moving along here. Now the next list we have 2 lists sent in by Real Nasuko. I think that's how you say his name. Now the first list is his top 5 best video game soundtracks of 2011. All games that were released last year.
Oh, okay.
And for each one, he gave examples of songs, including links to YouTube videos, which is very handy. Not really needed, but he took the extra effort to do that.
Oh, that's a good thing. Awesome.
So these are just the soundtracks that he's talking about. Number 5 is A Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword. Now, we already talked about the game being kind of overrated, but I haven't heard much of the soundtrack. You've played it. Is the music good?
The music is really good. I do
Okay.
I give it praises for that. Yeah, I have to agree.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Number 4, and I know this is one that you have, Radiant Historia for the
Oh.
DS.
Oh, love Radiant Historia's music. Ah, beautiful.
Now, I remember you got Radiant Historia,
Yep.
and I thought you told me it was a PSP game.
No, it's DS.
It's DS, okay. And you were saying did you know that it became like a really rare game?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it had a low print run,
Wow.
and it's very hard to find. As a matter of fact, I have Atlas on my Facebook, and they were actually talking about the possibility of reprinting it.
I hope they do because it's a beautiful game.
Yeah, they were saying, if we reprint and we do another print run of Radiant Historia, are people going to buy it?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Well, considering how sought after it is, I would hope so.
It's a beautiful
So.
game and gorgeous music. Totally.
Cool. Number 3, he has Dark Souls, which was on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360.
I
haven't
disagree.
played this one. You don't like the music?
I honestly, I mean, I have many different tastes in video game music, but Dark Souls turns me off.
Now, I haven't heard it, but I have the opportunity to since he sent me YouTube links. So you won't be able to hear it because I'm wearing a headset, but I'm gonna play this first one called Gwyn, Lord of Cinder, and see what I think of this.
All right.
All right, we got some piano here. Sounds like Resident Evil. It sounds a lot like Resident Evil.
Yeah, it does. It turns me off.
Yeah, it's like I'm playing Resident Evil 0, and I hated that game. All right, let me try another song. Ornstein and Smuff. That's really the name of it? Okay, let's see. Smuff sounds like a very specific kind of porn.
Or a Smurf that's been squashed.
Yeah. This is a cool song.
Eh. The soundtrack just turns me off. It really does.
Now, this is a cool song, Tanya. I don't know. Maybe you just didn't hear this one.
Which one is it?
I'm going to send you the link.
What is it?
It's typical epic chorus stuff, Don't play it so we can hear it.
Yeah, I'm playing it right now on my headphones.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, this is okay. This is our
This is pretty badass, right?
yeah, this is okay. All right, I'll give it that.
Okay. All right. Moving on, number 2, he has The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, and there are many amazing things to be said about Skyrim, and the music was definitely pretty
His
awesome.
music is gorgeous. Yep.
Definitely awesome. And number 1, best soundtrack of the year according to him, Dynasty Warriors 7 Extreme Legends for PS3.
Oh, I never played it. I love
Neither-
Dynasty Warriors.
Neither have I. Well, I'm going to send you a link to one of these, and I'm going to also check it out. So we're gonna check it out right here.
All right, let me check.
This song's called Wang Yi Theme.
Thank you. Okay.
Dun 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 dun. That's pretty badass.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty damn cool.
You get the guitar, the piano. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
All right, I'm down with that.
I'm down with
Okay,
that too.
So what do you say? I'm going to give it a perfect 5 out of 5.
I'm sorry, Dark Souls 4 out of 5.
I liked what I heard. Well, I didn't like the first song, but you can't like every song.
Yeah.
His other list that he sent me was it's a top 50 favorite video games of all time.
Wow.
That's his favorites. He says these may not be your favorites. That's why I didn't title the list top 50 best games. It's his favorites. But he doesn't go all the way. He doesn't only go all the way to 50. He also has number 9001 listed here. So number 9001 is Final Fantasy VII, and then he says, "I kid. It's 9002. 9001 is reserved for Earthbound." Oh, props.
Sure.
I hate Earthbound.
I can't stand Earthbound.
apparently, so does he. He also apparently hates Final Fantasy VII. I liked Final Fantasy VII. It's definitely overrated.
Oh, it's hugely overrated. I like
but
the
I don't,
game, but it's not great.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Let's go to number 50.
All right.
And we're going to do it like the other one. I'll list 10 at a time. So number 50 is Ape Escape on PlayStation. Number 49, Age of Mythology for PC. Number 48, Super Mario Sunshine on GameCube. Number 47, Dynasty Warriors 2 for PlayStation 2. Number 46, Twisted Metal 2 for PlayStation. Number 45, Marble Drop Win. Oh, I'm sorry, it's Marble Drop Windows 95 Edition, obviously for PC. Number 44 is Gran Turismo for PlayStation. Number 43, Spyro the Dragon, also for PlayStation. Number 42, Romance of the Three Kingdoms 10 for PlayStation 2. And number 41, Star Tropics on the NES.
Wow.
So far, nothing that I could really argue with.
I can't disagree with it much there.
Yeah,
It's
they're all decent games.
some classics in there, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Moving along here. Sorry about that. What the hell just happened? All right, here we go. Number 40 is Two Worlds 2 for Xbox 360, PC, and PlayStation 3. Number 39, Ys, the Ark of Napishtim for PlayStation Portable or PS2. Number 38, Dynasty Warriors 7 for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Number 37, Vampire Knight for PlayStation 2. Number 36, Parasite Eve for PlayStation. Number 35, The Dark Spire for the DS. And number 34, The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind for Xbox and PC. Number 33, Guitar Hero 3 Warriors of Rock for pretty much every system. Number 32, Desert Strike on the Genesis. And number 31, Warriors Orochi 2 USA for Xbox 360 and PlayStation 2. I haven't never heard of Vampire Knight, but once again, really nothing that I can argue with.
As a matter of fact, I even give him +1 internet for putting for putting Parasite Eve on there. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I know you like that one.
Yeah.
Moving on, number 30 is Bayonetta on PS3 and Xbox 360. Number 29 is Nobunga's Ambition Rise to Power on PlayStation 2. Number 28 is Golden Sun on Game Boy Advance. Number 27 is The Legend of Dragoon on PlayStation. Number 26 is RuneScape, which is a browser game. Number 25 is Pikmin 2 for GameCube. Number 24 is Suikoden 5 for PlayStation 2. Number 23 is SimCity 2000 for PC and PlayStation. Number 22 is Command & Conquer Red Alert 2 Yuri's Revenge for PC. And number 21, Paper Mario on the N64. You definitely lose a few points for having Golden Sun on the list.
I was just going to say the same thing.
But other than that, I also RuneScape, really?
I was actually
but
my RuneScape, that's... Well,
Pikmin 2 is awesome, though.
Oh, I love Pikmin 2. That's...
I'm a huge fan of the Pikmin series in general. I'm pissed off as all hell that Pikmin 3 is not going to be on the Wii.
Did they actually say what it's going to be on? Do we know?
Oh, it's on the Wii U.
It's on the Wii U. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's great that we're getting it, but I hate how we had 2 on the GameCube and 0 on the Wii.
Yeah. It just skipped right over a whole generation of consoles.
Please, don't do that. That's irritating. Let's see. Number 20 is The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim for PC. I like he puts a little note here for PC, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3. Barely worth mentioning. That's true.
True.
Butchered port if there ever was one. Number 19 is Loaded for PlayStation. Number 18, Skies Over Arcadia. I think he means Skies of Arcadia Legends for GameCube.
Okay, yeah.
Number 17, Pokemon Emerald version for Game Boy Advance. Number 16, Animal Crossing Wild World for DS. Number 15, Poi Poi for PlayStation. Number 14, Lunar Silver Star Story for PlayStation. And he put Saturn, but he puts a question mark. It wasn't on the Saturn.
No, it was...
It was actually on Sega CD,
Sega
and
CD,
then it was on
yep.
PlayStation. Yeah. 13 was Tomba on PlayStation. 12 is Command and Conquer Renegade for PC. He likes his RTSs. And at number 11, Resident Evil 4 HD version for Xbox 360.
Okay.
Yeah, so far so good. I mean, I personally put Skyrim a little higher, but...
And you know what? I love the fact that he loves Toomba. I loved Toomba. I thought that was a great platformer. So
was that the caveman guy?
Yeah, it was a fantastic game. Yeah.
That was very underrated. I think it got kind of lost in the deluge of mascot platformers.
Probably, yeah. But it was beautiful, beautiful game. Yeah.
Here we are to the top 10. Oh, really? Number 10 is Golden Sun: The Lost Age on Game Boy Advance. Number 9, Harvest Moon: Friends of Mineral Town on Game Boy Advance. Number 8, Radiant Historia for DS. Number 7, Suikoden for PlayStation. Number 6, Fallout 3 for PC, Xbox 360, and PlayStation 3. Number 5, Spyro the Dragon 2 Ripto's Rage for PlayStation. Number 4, Demon's Souls for PlayStation 3. Number 3, Command & Conquer Red Alert for PC and PlayStation. Number 2, Dark Souls for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. And number 1, Suikoden 2 on the PlayStation. So he really likes the Suikoden series because he's got number 2 as his favorite game ever. He's got the original at number 7, and he's also got number 5 at number 24.
Wow.
I wonder why Suikoden 3 and 4 missed out on the list. I don't agree with the order, but it's his list. It's his favorites. I hate Golden Sun.
I don't like Golden Sun.
You like it?
No, I don't like it. I think it's contrived. Yeah.
Not only is it... You know what I liked about Golden Sun was the playing through the dungeons and the puzzles and everything.
Oh, yeah, but...
You know what I hated? Everything else.
Everything else. The storyline sucks.
The storyline, having to talk to everybody, and everybody has like 3 paragraphs worth of bullshit to tell you.
It was...
And they just talk and talk and talk. The cutscenes go on forever. I hate that game. But anyway, it's his list. I can't find too much to nitpick at. At a 50, I'm gonna be pretty kind here. I'm gonna give him a 45. There's a lot of cool stuff on there.
There's a lot of real... Actually, I'm gonna go a little higher and say 47.
There you go. I was actually thinking 47, but then I lowered it a little. This next list is from Mr. Lover of Ganja, and I think you're gonna really have a lot of fun with this one, Tanya.
Okay.
This is published by AD.com, written by Nora Vega, and sent in by Mr. Lover of Ganja. It is the 10 most bizarre sex toys. We're about to get a little adult here, but we'll try and keep it PG-13. For YouTube. But okay, so here, it starts at number 1, so I'm gonna actually go down to the bottom here.
Alrighty.
And guys, when you send your list, please try to do them in descending order. Okay, so number 10 for weirdest sex or most bizarre sex toys is a gold-plated vibrator.
Wow.
It's a vibrator, obviously, and it's encased in gold.
Wow.
The suggested retail price is $1,500.
Okay.
You know what the sad part is? It's only 3 inches long.
Not
only that, but I'm going to show you this. It has a really weird shape to it. I don't know what this is good for.
I need to see this.
It's shaped very oddly. It looks like a deflated kidney bean.
What?
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah. Now you're a woman. You would never use something with a weird shape and size like that, right?
Okay, that's a big fat sack of fucking no.
Yeah. And then it costs over $1,500. So.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. Well, it's supposed to be weird, so. At number 9, we have, and this is one of the. You knew there had to be one or two of these out of Japan, possibly more. Here we have Hizumakura's lap pillow. And basically, it's not really a sex toy, but it's a pillow shaped like a woman's legs.
Okay.
It's and they got these Japanese guys resting their heads on it. I'm going to show you the picture here. There you go.
Uh-huh.
Only Japanese people would want that.
Uh-huh.
Now let me ask you a question. How much would you guess something like that would cost?
$10.
Try $142.
Okay, that's $132 more than what I would pay for.
Well, you wouldn't pay for it at all. What use would you have for that?
I mean, don't know.
It doesn't even look like a comfortable pillow.
No, it really doesn't. No.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. That's very strange. At number 8, we have another vibrator. We have the Hello Kitty vibrator. I guess that's the lady pedophile and everybody. You know what I mean?
Ah, Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty vibrator.
Now,
first of all, just I'm gonna send you the picture. Just the shape of this just looks like it would be incredibly painful. So I'm just gonna send you that. I mean, it's literally shaped like Hello Kitty.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
That's just it's terrifying, isn't it?
Okay. I don't want that anywhere near my vagina. Thank you very much. No.
PG-13. PG-13. I'm trying to find the price here, but well, they don't list the price, so I'm trying to find like the website that sells it or something. Okay, it's $21.50 in pounds, so that's about $30.
That's about $29 more than what I would even. No.
Honestly, if you buy that, then you really should be put on some sort of a list.
Yeah, you've got problems.
Yeah. Moving along, that's number 8. Number 6 is this is just honestly this should be number 1 because this is the weirdest thing I've ever fucking seen in my life. It's called Cup Nude.
What?
Now, based on what I just said, Cup Nude, what would you guess that it is?
A mug where it is a bunch of nude people on it?
Well, you're not too far off.
All right.
It's it's cup of noodles with a tit.
Okay, my mind just like sunk into the ocean. Seriously.
Well, okay. Here's a picture. 2 pictures, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
Let me.
Also, yeah. Also, notice what it says. It says gently acid lotion.
Gently acid lotion.
Those are 3 words that should not go together.
Cup nude.
Yeah. Only in Japan.
I have no sanity left after seeing that. That's wow.
Yeah, basically it's a cup of noodles, but it's got like a tit.
Only in Japan. Only in Japan.
Yeah. I don't have a price for this, but that's okay, right?
Yeah.
Number 6 is called Real Touch. It's a let's see. All right, I'm just going to read what it says here. This computer-controlled stimulation device uses specially encoded content to bring a sort of virtual reality experience to a certain member. Using a host of technologies, a futuristic-looking computer peripheral simulates motion, adjusts the temperature, and provides lubrication. So basically, it's a USB port for your dick.
That's... I didn't even think about that.
I'm going to send you the picture of this. It looks like a torture device to me.
So, you as a guy, what do you have to say about this? I mean...
No. Yeah. I mean, basically, it's a thing that you plug into your computer. You plug one end into the computer and the other end into your wang, and then it jerks you off.
Now...
And it costs $150 now. For $150, I guess you can get a hooker or 2. But that's besides the point. If you need a computer to jerk you off, then you're not doing it right.
why would you want to insert your dick into a device in the first place? That's...
Doesn't it look like a torture device?
Honestly, it really does. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on here. At number 5, we have an eco-friendly vibrator.
Was it made by grass?
No, it's a love yourself and love the planet at the same time with Sola, a small bullet-shaped vibrator powered by the sun.
Okay, if I'm gonna love the planet and love myself at the same time, I'm gonna have sex and a picnic outside then. Okay? Yeah.
Well, you'd have to be outside to use this because it's freaking solar powered.
Solar-powered vibrator. What?
And once again, it's tiny. Well, let me show you this. And the whole solar, it looks like an Etch-a-Sketch connected to like a little foam flower and then like a little nub that I guess you would use.
It does look like an Etch-a-Sketch. Are you serious?
Yeah. I'm serious. I don't think the people who made it were. So this eco-friendly vibrator, how much would you guess that is? You know, if it's green, it's more expensive, right?
Oh, $30.
It's $70.
Seven?
Yeah. Number 4. By the way, they picked the right month to send this list in when I have Tanya as a co-host. Number 4 is the hooded spandex full body binder sack.
Holy fuck knob. What?
I'm going to say it again because it's so funny, and I'm going to send you the picture too because this is obviously a bondage thing. Hooded spandex full body binder sack. And it says it's so comfortable you can spend an entire night in it. Well, you probably would, because how are you getting out of that, I don't know.
I'm crying, I'm laughing so hard.
You want to guess how much that one costs?
I don't have a freaking clue.
It's basically a full body condom. I mean, you're not really... If you're putting that on, you're not really going to be having any sex.
I'm sorry, but if you put that on, you're just going to get laughed at.
Yeah. It's $152.
$152 to look like an idiot.
To basically be put in a burlap sack. I mean, that's basically what it is.
Oh,
okay.
Goddess.
Now, number 3 is where it gets really fucked up. Personally, I think this is beyond fucked. We have the Obama dildo.
Please tell me you're joking.
I wish I was. It's the Obama dildo. Just in time to insert some pork into the new stimulus package. Comes the official Obama pleasure toy for only $35. You can get the head of state Obama sex toy. And it comes in 2 colors. You can get it in presidential gold or democratic blue.
And there goes my sanity. Right out the window. See you later, Sandy.
No, your sanity isn't gone until I show it to you. My Obama, let me show you them.
Oh.
It's not only... Oh. Not only is it his head, but he's like wearing a suit, and he has like balls coming out of his butt.
Okay, now, I'm looking at this, and as a woman, I can just say, no. Just no.
Maybe if you were more liberal.
No, just no. I don't care how liberal you are or how liberal you are down there. Just no.
Oh. And if anybody wants to... you got to take a look at this. Go to headostate.com. You can take a look at it.
That's just... Oh, wow. Just... I can't even talk about it.
I don't even think... They call it... Yeah, it's not even a vibrator. It's just a dildo. It doesn't do anything. What I love is if you go to the website, they have these fake quotes from several political people. They have they have John McCain saying this one's fully vetted. They have Sarah Palin saying drill baby drill. They have George W. Bush saying I bought 2, emission accomplished. And finally, we have Dick Cheney says, I've had one stuck in me since 1982. I can almost believe that. Obama dildo, yeah. Moving along. Now, this is probably the grossest one on the list. We have an artificial hymen.
No, whoa, back up. I need to hear that one more time. An artificial hymen.
Yes. It says sex toy company Jigimoto created this artificial hymen, a plastic bag filled with, well, fake blood. For those of you who either need to lie about being a virgin or want to relive losing their maidenly flower, fake blood in a cha-cha.
I have no words.
Yeah, I really can't think of any situation in this modern day where you would need a fake hymen.
Why would you? No, you know what? No, I can't.
It's only it's also the cheapest thing on this list. It's only $15.
$15.
I'm gonna send you a picture of this. It looks like a bloody Rorschach test.
Does it get inserted inside? Or is...
I assume. How else would it? Look, I'm not about to look into this any more than I already have. Okay.
I have no words. There's no words to describe the insult to humanity this thing is. Anyway,
let's move on to number one. Number one is pretty much a blanket term. It specifies Japanese. It says hyper-realistic Japanese sex dolls. Basically, they're talking about the real dolls. I don't know if you've heard of these things, but it's like a blow-up doll, except it's like $7,000 blow-up doll.
I've never heard of these things.
You've never heard of real doll? They had them on Howard Stern and everything. They look like I would say like 75% real. You know what I mean?
Huh.
It's kind of uncanny valley. I'm gonna send you a picture. These ones are cheaper than the ones that I've seen in the past, but that's what they look like, and apparently they are fully functional.
Fully.
Yeah. Yeah. So, just go ahead, open up your browser and go to realdoll.com, and those are like those are the ones that cost like $10,000.
Let me just look at this real quick.
Yeah, you got to see it. It's incredible.
Realdoll.com.
Yeah, realdoll.com.
Right,
anybody who has $10,000 to throw around should not be buying what basically looks like a simulated woman from like Weird Science or something.
They actually do look pretty real, considering that's
but
except for the faces, but
well, it's those dead, lifeless, creepy eyes. So you know what the funniest part is? They have male real dolls now. And you could customize them and everything. It's ridiculous.
Them. I don't even know what to say about this. I didn't know this even existed. This is how.
Yeah.
Okay, I know it's supposed to be like PG-13, but I have to say this because it just blew my mind. Add a she-male converter for $400.
Well, if you're going to be spending $10,000, it's only an extra. All right, let's move on. I'm gonna give this list a 10 out of 10. It really the only thing that I kind of expected to be on there was there's a crucifix dildo out there.
Oh yeah.
You know, I knew a guy who thought he invented that. He comes to me and he's like, dude, I'm gonna make $1 million. I just this great idea, the crucidildo. And I'm like, dude, that already exists. And he's like, fuck you, no it doesn't. I'm like, yeah, it does. It's called the Jackhammer Jesus.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're fucking with me. And I'm like, no, Google it. It really exists. But honestly, those 10 things very, very strange. 10 out of 10. I mean,
I give it 11 out of 10.
You can't give it 11 out of 10.
It blew my mind. Totally.
Tanya also gives it a 10.
Yeah.
All right, you can't give it 11 out of 10. It's ridiculous. All right, well, moving along. The next one was sent in by WWE Lover 100. Actually, he has 3 lists that he sent me.
Oh wow!
All written by him. And I'm gonna give you a choice of which one you want to hear first.
All right.
We have his Metallica albums ranked from best to worst.
Ooh.
Or worst to best. Top 5 I wish that didn't happen moments in 2011. and top 10 villains of games released in 2011.
Ooh, these are pretty good lists.
Yeah, which you want to hear first?
Let's do the Metallica ones first.
Okay, the Metallica one first. Okay, so we're going to go, and he has his notes on each of these. We're going to rank 10 Metallica studio albums from worst to best in his view.
Okay.
So, number 10 is Lulu. I would cut my legs and tits off while I think of Boris Karloff and Kinski and the dog. It's really one of the worst albums I've ever heard.
Yeah.
What he says, it's like Load and Reload, but with Lou Reed spewing shit out of his mouth.
Agreed.
Number 9 is Metallica, the self-titled album, what everybody calls the Black Album. He says, I somewhat like this album, but there is so much better to choose from.
I'd actually
personally, I agree with what he said, but I would rank it higher than that.
I would rank it higher.
Especially considering the next one. Number 8 is Reload. This is what he says, Reload is good, but there are only a few songs that I could really get into. For example, Fuel and The Memory Remains. Now, I actually really liked Load. A lot of people didn't care for that one. I liked it a lot.
I didn't like it.
And then Reload came out, and it was exactly what it was is B-sides from Load. It was crap.
I like 3 songs from Reload, and that was about it.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, the first 4 songs are good, and then after that, it's like... But I liked Load a lot better. Number 7, and I'm shocked to see this one so low, is Ride the Lightning. He says, just like Reload, there were only a few songs that I liked.
Are you serious? Ride the Lightning.
Are you crazy? It's a classic.
I love Ride the Lightning. Oh, no, definitely disagree.
Wow. Yeah, definitely. Number 6 is Load. He says, now with Reload and Ride the Lightning, there were only a few songs that I can get into, but with Load, there were more than 2 or 3 songs. It's more like 4 or 5.
I disagree with that one. That's me personally, though.
I like the album a lot more than that, but his whole order is really fucked up. So far, the only thing I agree with is Lulu is last.
Yeah.
Number 5 is Kill 'Em All. And he says, Cliff's bass, enough said. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
I would put it a little lower than that, though.
I would
because
put below, like, Reload or something like that.
Yeah,
but
the songwriting was not all there yet, you know? It basically was a Megadeth album, and I got nothing against that. I love Megadeth.
Oh, me too.
But it didn't. Yeah. It wasn't what they would become, you know?
No.
Number 4, Saint Anger, and this is what he says, and I do agree with what he says. I don't understand where all the hate about this album comes from, but from all that I've heard of it, it sounds good. Now, you know, the production was unusual. The songs were very raw. I liked it for what it was, so I can't disagree with him. Do I think it was better than Load and Ride the Lightning? No.
I would put it lower.
I would put other things higher.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would put...
Number 3, he's got Injustice for All. He says, can't say too many bad things about it. I actually can say a few bad things about it. Like, the production is the worst I've ever heard. The songwriting was phenomenal. The playing was absolutely breathtaking. But there's no bass in it. Yeah. It's literally just all treble. It's like if you took any metal album and you turned your treble all the way up and your bass all the way down. That's Injustice for All. So, that if there was ever an album that needed to be remastered, that's it.
It'd be that one, yeah.
Beautiful. Number two is Master of Puppets. Everything is good about this album, but the thing that gets high marks for me is that although Master of Puppets is good, I liked Orion better. So, okay, whatever. You know me, I have the Master of Puppets banner behind me in all my cam videos. That's probably one of my favorite albums of all time, so I'm thinking, is number 1 really better? And I liked number 1, which is Death Magnetic. He actually puts Beyond Magnetic with it, because that was the songs that were left off of it. And he says, this is the only Metallica album where I can say that I liked every song top to bottom. All I can say is that Papa Het still has it. It was great.
It was a great album.
It's not better than Master of Puppets.
It's not better than Master of Puppets, though. No.
Not even close. It's not better than Ride the Lightning, either.
No, I think it should go, like, Master of Puppets, Ride the Lightning, and then maybe, like, I don't know, maybe...
For me, it would be Master of Puppets, and then Ride the Lightning, and then probably Load, and then probably Injustice for All.
Yeah.
And then Saint Anger after that, and then the Black Album. you know, and then maybe Reload, and then Lulu was like dead ass last.
Oh, dead ass last.
Oh no, Reload and then Lulu. Kill them all somewhere in the middle. I forgot that one, but out of 10, I'm gonna give this a 5. It was kind of neither here nor there, average list.
I'm gonna give it a 4.
Okay. Let's go to the top 5. I wish that didn't happen. Moments of 2011, and these are all related to video games, by the way.
Okay.
So number 5 is the 3DS's launch day lineup, which you can't complain too much. All launch lineups suck.
That one really did suck, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, but when was the last time that you had a really strong launch lineup for any system?
Honestly, I can't remember. It's been that long.
I'll tell you, the Super NES.
The Super NES, yeah.
That was the last one. Oh, actually, okay. The Nintendo 64 had 3 good games that came out, but that was the only 3 games that came out at launch.
Yeah,
It was okay. Yeah, Mario's good. Wave Race is good. Pilot Wings is good. Oh, that's it.
Yeah, that's all you get.
Yeah. All right. Number 4 is the cancellation of Mega Man Legends 3.
Oh,
I have to agree with that.
Heartily agree.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
That's some bullshit. Actually, you can amend that and say the cancellation of all current Mega Man projects, because that's what happened.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And as a matter of fact, if I could add on to that real quick, there's even been the rumor mill circulating between developers is that Mega Man franchise itself, while it's still there, is being slowly phased out, that they're trying to get away from it.
Wow. Yeah, well, Inafune left. I don't think that they ever really liked the Mega Man games. It's not a huge seller like some of their other stuff. And, I mean, Capcom has pretty much become the company that makes Street Fighter, Monster Rancher, and Resident Evil.
Yep.
And that's it.
That's
it.
You
know what I mean?
Yep.
So, no, not Monster Rancher, Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter, yeah.
Yeah. So I agree with that. Number 3 is the bugs in Skyrim. But he also says the moonwalking dragons are funny, though. And there are, but actually, and I was going to talk about this on VMX Show, and I still will, the new version of Skyrim just came out today, actually, Tanya. Skyrim 1.4 version. And I was looking over the list of what's fixed, and I got to say, it's all the shit that we were screaming wasn't fixed with the last 2 updates.
Really? Did they finally fix it all?
It's such a long list. It took me forever to get through it, but a lot of the quests that were it wasn't just like, you know, oh, dragons this. It was like all the bugged quests and the nonsense.
Oh.
So, yeah. So hopefully this patch doesn't create more problems.
I hope it doesn't.
Number 2 is weird. He mentions the launch of Call of Duty Elite. I mean, if you're a Call of Duty fan, then that's great. If you're not, then who gives a shit?
I don't give a shit because I'm not a Call of Duty fan, so whatever.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, I like Call of Duty. I'm not about to get the fucking Elite thing, but I'm kind of ambivalent towards that. I don't think it's that big of a deal. And number 1 is PlayStation Network being hacked.
Oh yeah, that was down for how long was it down for, John?
Something like 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
I'm glad it happened actually, because it got a whole bunch of these fucking assholes arrested.
Yeah, that's true.
So there was a silver lining to that, but good list nonetheless. I'm I'm gonna give him a 4 out of 5.
I'm actually gonna say a 5 out of 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There we go. And finally, we have the top 10 villains from only games released in 2011. So, okay, no, all right. Just from number 10, he's got a Call of Duty person in here. So I guess he is a Call of Duty fan. He just doesn't like Elite.
Okay.
Okay, so I just guess I'd throw that out there. So number 10 is Makarov.
Who I wouldn't
I
know,
guess
so.
from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Big bad terrorist guy.
Okay.
You can never go wrong with terrorists as villains. Number 9, the Dragon Priests from Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
Okay.
Personally, if you're going to pick one villain from Skyrim, why would you pick the Dragon Priests, and why wouldn't you pick either, Alduin the World Eater himself?
I was just going to say, why wouldn't you pick him?
Or the dragons in general, or you could say Ulfric Stormcloak or any of the other characters in it. That's a very strange choice there from Skyrim. Although the Dragon Priests were really cool to fight.
Oh, that's true, yeah. But
number 8 are the Creepers from Minecraft. Or as he puts it, these green dick-looking creatures that can fuck up hours of work with one explosion.
It's the truth, though.
Now wait, I gotta get technical. Did Minecraft come out in 2011?
Actually, I think the beta actually came out 2010.
Okay, yeah, it was in beta for a while, but I think the official release was this year. So I guess technically he's right.
Okay.
But it was open beta for a long time.
Yeah, for a
Yeah.
long time before, yeah.
Number 7, Mr. Freeze from Batman Arkham City. I haven't played Arkham City yet, but I've seen the Mr. Freeze battles. Pretty fucking cool.
It is pretty cool, but I've not played it yet, though.
Yeah. Number 6, Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat. Of course, that I can't argue with that.
I can't argue. He was a bitch, though. Ah.
Oh, yeah, he was a bitch. Number 5 is Alma from Fear 3. I have never played any.
I've never played Fear 3, so I couldn't tell you.
Number 4 is Chuck from Dead Rising 2 Off the Record.
Never played Dead Rising 2.
I haven't played it, but from what I've heard from Andrew, it's pretty cool.
Okay.
Number 3 is the entire fucking game from Duke Nukem Forever. Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
You could almost say that Duke Nukem himself was the villain. Number 2 is the Joker from Batman Arkham City. You gotta put the Joker on there.
Of course.
And number 1, and we're about to stroke Tanya's ego here, Zeexor from Chronicles of a Dark World.
Woot! Automatic 5 out of 5.
It's out of 10. It's out of 10.
Yeah, automatic 10.
Well, hold on. Let me read you what he said. He says, by the way, Necro, I saw this on Urban Dictionary. You played Chronicles of Dark World Episode 1 Tides of Fate yet? Move over Final Fantasy. You have been replaced.
Really?
Yeah. Somebody did put that on Urban Dictionary. I did see that. Zeexor, though.
Zeexor, hey. Or as they say, Zexor, so yeah.
Oh, he's Zexor. Not Anto.
Not Anto, that's interesting.
Not Anto. Not Zayon.
Not Zayon, but Zexor.
Not Exides even, but Zexor.
That's an interesting choice. It's a very interesting choice.
You know, I always felt that Zexor was sort of the... I think he's fun, and I think I know why he likes him so much. He's sort of the Gilgamesh of the series.
Yeah, because he's always pestering you. You fight him several times. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. All right, so 10 out of 10. I can't argue with anything, and he put Zexor on there, so...
Yeah, 10 out of 10 for me. That's easy.
Yeah, easy. Okay, from Almighty Santa, he sends in lists all the time, and he sent in a top 20 favorite NES games. So these are his top 20 NES games.
I love the NES. Okay.
Who doesn't? All right, number 20. Oh, hold on, somebody's IMing me. Let me just... It's my friend Kelly squeeing about Final Fantasy. Let me just tell her I'm recording.
Just so everybody is aware, I have played 13-2, and no, I don't like it.
Yeah, she hates it. I love it. I think it's great. My friend Kelly just told me games should be required by law to be that awesome. Okay, but let's go to Almighty Santa. He's always good. I like his list, so let's see. This is his top 20 NES games. Number 20, Dragon Quest 3.
Ooh.
Can't go wrong with Dragon Quest 3. Personally, I prefer 4, but
yeah,
there you have it. Number 19, Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Oh, I love that game.
As far as licensed games go, it's pretty much the gold standard on the NES. And DuckTales. And he's got DuckTales on here too later on. So, number 18 is Mega Man 2. Not my favorite one, but it's good.
That's my favorite.
It's good. Really?
It's my.
I'm a big fan. Well, Mega Man 4 was my favorite on the NES, followed by 5, and then 3, and then 2. So, moving along, number 17, DuckTales, another, like I said, gold standard for licensed games.
Awesome game.
If you wanted to play a good licensed game in the NES, it had to be Capcom.
Oh,
Chippendale was Capcom, DuckTales was Capcom, you know, those are just good games. Number 16, Super C.
Oh,
that was the sequel to Contra.
Yeah.
Not many people talk about Super C. Everybody talks about Contra, and they sort of forget that it has sequels. So it's cool that he put that on there. Number 15, Kirby's Adventure. Total classic.
Oh, classic.
Love Kirby's Adventure. Number 14, Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse.
I like it. It's different, but...
Different? What are you talking about? Are you thinking of Simon's Quest? Simon's Quest was different.
No, I'm thinking the fact that it branches. You have different characters and that.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Well, it's the only Castlevania game he has on here. And honestly, if I was to pick one from the NES, that's the one I would pick. So
I'd actually pick the original, but that's me though.
number 13 is another licensed game that happens to be good, is Batman.
Oh, awesome
Now,
game.
It's a hard as fuck,
Oh.
but it is so fun that you don't care.
Oh,
you know?
yeah, it was great. The last
Great
one-
music. Great music, too.
Mhm.
Number 12, very odd choice here, Mega Man 6. That's my least favorite Mega Man
I don't
on the
like that
NES.
No,
I don't like it either, no. I mean, I like it okay. It's a good game, it's just not a good Mega Man game.
no, not really. No.
Number 11, Super Mario Brothers 2.
Okay. All right.
Number 10, Super Mario Brothers 1.
Oh, of course.
Number 9, Contra.
Ah, sweet.
Number 8 is Metroid.
Really, Metroid number 8, huh?
Metroid, number 8, yeah. Number 7, Dragon Quest 4. He did have it on here.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Very sweet. That's my favorite out of all the 8-bit ones. As a matter of fact, my 3 favorites are 8, 5, and 4 out of the whole series.
There you go.
Number 6 is Ninja Gaiden. He spelled it wrong, but whatever.
Difficult
Ninja Gaiden's a great
as
game.
fuck. Ugh.
I've never beaten it. I've never beaten level 6-2. Level 6-2 is the devil.
Yes, it is.
Number 5 is Legend of Zelda.
Oh, okay.
Number 4 is Mega Man 4. Yeah. And then he has to cock it up because number 3 is a game that I absolutely hate. Crystalis.
Okay, now you may hate it, but I love that game. So you know what? I give him.
He didn't even spell it right.
Crystalis is a good.
You know why?
Game.
It's not a good game. It has terrible gameplay. It's so hard to hit something without bumping into it, and the collision detection is so ridiculous that if you approach an enemy from the south, you're guaranteed to take a hit.
No. See, all you gotta do is make sure you charge up your weapon correctly, and you'd be able to get through it all. That's how I did it. I just charged him up and just shot it all over the place.
But I don't know. I terrible game. All right, just poorly put together, badly designed. Ugh. Number 2 is Final Fantasy.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, like Final Fantasy. And number 1, and you're pretty much required to put this at number 1, is Super Mario Brothers 3.
Oh, hell yeah.
Now, I vehemently disagree with the placement and the very high placement of Crystalis as number 3. But other than that, I find this to be a very, very good list. Mega Man 6 is weird, but, you know, it's one of his quirks, whatever. I'm going to give it an 18 out of 20.
I'm gonna give it a 19 out of 20.
All right. So we only have 2 lists left, and these are the lists that I found that I thought were interesting.
Okay.
These are both from listverse.com. The first is the top 10 best written video games. So essentially, they're talking, best stories.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Since this is something that is near and dear to both of us,
Yeah.
I think that, it would be very interesting to read through this one. So these are top 10 best written video games according to listverse.com's columnist Nick Swanner. Number 10, he has Mass Effect 2.
Oh, beautiful.
Cannot argue with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't personally gotten into the series yet, but I know the writing is spectacular.
It's phenomenal.
As it tends to be in BioWare's titles.
Oh,
So there you
BioWare's
have
just magnificent when it comes to storylines. Yeah.
Now, this is an interesting one because this is a game that doesn't have a whole lot of text in it. It has some, more than you would expect for this particular genre of game, but the storytelling is more visual. Number 9 is Braid.
Oh,
I was a
great.
big fan of Braid. I love the game.
I
and
love Braid. And you're right, it's not
Yeah.
that much text in it, but
Yeah. Number 8 is another one of my very favorite games is BioShock.
oh, BioShock.
Mm-hmm.
Can't go wrong with that one either.
Yeah. Number 7 is Portal. Now, personally, I'm not a huge Portal fan, so
I have a confession to make. I am a huge Portal not person.
I just, I get the whole thing, and it seems like it's fun and everything, but I don't get why everyone's pulling their puds to Portal.
I don't like it at all. I don't see the redeeming value in it, but that's me. Hey, what can I tell you?
Well, according to Andrew had a very objective way of looking at it. He said the first Portal was what he called a glorified tech demo.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But he praises Portal 2 as being a legitimately good game. He says they fixed everything that was wrong with the first one. So maybe Portal 2 is the better game. But as for the storyline and everything, I get it. The cake's a lie. The robot's bad. Blah blah blah. You know what I mean?
It's pretty contrived to me, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
You know.
Number 6 is The Elder Scrolls 4: Oblivion.
Oh, Oblivion. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that's interesting, because out of all the Elder Scrolls games to pick,
Oblivion.
they went for Oblivion.
That's intriguing. That really is.
Now, well, the list is pre-Skyrim. So the list was from May of last year. So they don't have Skyrim on here because it wasn't out. But personally, I would have picked Morrowind.
I was gonna say Morrowind not on there. That's
what I would have picked.
Hmm.
It's not on here. Number 5. Now this is a game that also the storytelling is largely visual. Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous game. Beautiful.
Yeah, and what I loved about Shadow of the Colossus is it happens at a different point for everybody, but it does happen to everybody that at one point you're going to come to the uneasy realization that what you're doing is wrong.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
And it hits you like a ton of bricks, too.
Yeah. Number 4, this is one that I'm not familiar with. It's called Fahrenheit Indigo Prophecy.
Oh, yes, I actually am familiar with that one.
Okay, is the writing good in this
The
one?
writing is really good in that one. I actually have to give praises for the writing in that. Not so much the game itself, but the writing is really good in that.
Okay. Number 3 is Silent Hill 2.
Personally,
I would have picked the first one as being the, but whatever, you know.
I've actually I never played a Silent Hill game in my life ever.
Really? Have you seen the movie?
I've seen the movie. Never.
The movie was good. The movie was good. The games are a little better written than that, but the movie was a pretty fair approximation, I would say.
Oh, okay, cool.
Number 2, Andrew's favorite game of all time, Deus S.
Oh, phenomenal writing. Yeah.
I have to say it. I never asked for this.
Yeah.
Finally, number 1, and I couldn't disagree with this more. I really couldn't. Because I hate this game. I hate the writing. I hate the characters. I hate the gameplay.
Uh-oh.
And I hate the fact that it's insanely overrated. And that would be Half-Life.
No. Half-Life is number 1?
Yeah.
Okay. No.
No. How the hell did they figure that this game had great storytelling?
I've played Half-Life and Half-Life 2.
I played through most of Half-Life. I got sick of it after a while.
And I gotta tell you, honestly, from my own perspective, it is nowhere near the kind of phenomenal writing that, say,
Deus
Ex has. Yeah, nowhere near it. Nowhere near it.
They also have an honorable mention for L.A. Noire, because it wasn't out at the time that they wrote the list.
It has some really good writing in it, though. It really does.
That does have good writing.
Yeah, it does.
But out of 10, obviously not counting L.A. Noire, I got to disagree with Half-Life strongly.
Me too.
Strongly. But almost everything else on here is cool. I would have put Oblivion. I would have put Morrowind instead of Oblivion, Portal 2 instead of Portal, or not even put a Portal game. But I would have put Dragon Age Origins. I'll use my veto power to put Dragon Age Origins in there instead of Portal. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
I'm gonna say because of the fact that Half-Life was number 1, I have to go to 6 out of 10. It's just
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. Now the other list I found is a top 15 list. It's also from Listverse. It's top 15 lousy video games that never should have been made.
Sweet.
So we'll have some fun with this one. This was written by Listverse columnist Jay Frater. Number 15 is VTech Rampage for PC. It's exactly what it sounds like. You get to kill people at Virginia Tech.
That's so offensive.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
That's so horrible.
Why would somebody make something like that?
Ugh.
According to this, the creator of the game said he did so because it was funny. All
funny.
right, now I'm all for offensive humor. I laughed my way through the Postal movie,
Oh,
but there's nothing funny about people being murdered.
no, at all.
So I have to agree that that's definitely a lousy video game
I
that never should have been made.
wholeheartedly agree.
By the way, I want to know, by the way, if you've actually played any of these as we go through them. Obviously, you haven't played that, nor
No,
have I.
no.
Number 14 is Bebe's Kids on the Super NES.
I actually have played that.
So have I. It's a terrible game based on a terrible movie, which was based on a terrible comedy bit. I did a video of it. I had Julie with me for that, if you remember.
Yep,
Um,
yep.
I remember the first time I ever heard of that, Nintendo Power had listed it as the worst game ever. And when I read that, I was like, you mean they made a game out of Baby's Kids? And then when I played it, I was like, oh my god. I felt so... You know who I felt really sorry for? The playtesters.
The playtesters, yeah.
Because they had to be tearing their eyeballs out, sending note after note after note, knowing that these issues were never going to be fixed.
It was so torturous that it just... Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Number 13. This is one I've never even heard of, but just the title of it is terrible. Extreme Paint Brawl.
I've never heard of it, but
It's
wow.
a PC game. It says, let's see, this is one of the worst games ever, getting only a 6% out of 100 from PC World, and is best known as the game that was knowingly shipped without any AI programming at all.
Oh my, wow.
So there's no AI, and it's a first-person shooter.
There's no AI.
If there's ever a genre that you need AI,
It's a first-person shooter.
first-person shooters, yeah. Number 12 is Zelda: The Wand of Gamelon on CDI. Personally, they could have put all three in this slot. All three Zelda CDI
They all deserve
games.
to be there.
And you know what? You know what's interesting is, and I have to just wax poetic a little bit about the CDI games, the Zelda ones anyway. A lot of people know that Wand of Gamelon was awful and that Faces of Evil was awful, but then they tend to give mild praise to Zelda's Adventure simply because it's an overhead game and it's more traditional Zelda-style gameplay. But when you look at it objectively, that's the worst one.
It's...
Like, Wand of Gamelon and Faces of Evil could have been good if they were, programmed competently, but Zelda's Adventure has no redeeming qualities.
It's virtually unplayable. It really is.
Yeah.
It's...
So,
Yeah.
I'm going to use my personal veto power once more to put all three Zelda CDI games in that spot.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Number 11 is Kabuki Warriors for Xbox.
I never heard of that one.
It was a terrible, terrible fighting game that, let me just I'm going to send you the screenshot and you're going to laugh.
All right.
Okay? I want you to the graphics are bad even for original Xbox, but I want you to specifically look at the top of the screen and the HUD, basically, the life bars and everything, and look how cheap it is. There's more effort put into the like-dislike bar on YouTube videos. How lazy is that?
Are you serious?
It's like placeholder graphics that they put there, like, okay, and our graphics guy will put something better there, and they never did because he was like, yeah, there's nothing. So,
That's...
just to share some of the review scores, Edge gave it a 1 out of 10. It's the only game that they've ever given a 1 out of 10 to. And Game Informer gave it a 0.5 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
And Game Informer is known for giving inflated reviews.
Yeah, they are.
Number 10 is Aquaman Battle for Atlantis for GameCube.
I've heard of
Now,
it. Never played it.
I mean, okay, I do like Aquaman, I'll give you that. But they picked Aquaman out of the lamest period of his history, when he had the mullet and the beard and the hook hand. And they put him in this... It's basically Superman for Nintendo 64, only underwater. That's what it is. The game is chock full of invisible walls, terrible combat. You've got all these, like, combos that you can learn and do, but you can literally play through the whole game by pressing one button.
Talk about bad
So,
game design.
oh, I mean, yeah, definitely. Oh, you know what? Did I send you the screenshot of
No, I looked it up
Kabuki
myself.
Warriors? Oh, okay, because I just realized I sent it to the wrong person.
It's okay.
Okay, number 9 is a game that I'm all too familiar with, Shaq Fu, which was on Super NES and Sega Genesis.
Too familiar
First,
with it.
first of all, the whole concept is just
Ridiculous.
stupid.
Yeah.
And then the execution of it, oh my god.
It's
You know, the people at Screw Attack actually, I saw this video where they had bought a copy of Shaq Fu and then broke it. And then they left it in a urinal in a men's room, and they put a little sign that says you could pee on Shaq Fu for free.
sweet.
I wish I could have been there. I could have just fucking unloaded my bladder on that piece of shit.
Isn't there like a group out there online or something like that that actually seeks out copies of Shaq Fu just to destroy them?
I have heard that. Yeah, I don't know how true it is, but I've heard that there is.
Yeah, I heard that too. It's interesting.
They should add Baby's Kids to the list.
Yeah.
At number 8, we have FBI Hostage Rescue for PC. I've never heard of this one.
Never heard of that one either.
But apparently, it's a first-person shooter. You're supposed to rescue hostages, but... Let's see, this is what it says. This game is the epitome of terrible programming and AI. The professional video game players from GameStop said they never got past level 1. Hostages were stupid, would disappear into walls and thin air, and a ridiculous time limit would count down as you tried to do an impossible mission. Graphics are terrible, the controls far more complicated than they should be, the AI is junk, and the game is literally impossible from as early as level 1.
Wow.
Lovely. Lovely. Sounds wonderful. Number 7, we have Drake of the 99 Dragons for Xbox. Not familiar with this one.
I'm not familiar with that one either. I'm looking it up.
Apparently, it's along the lines of Aquaman.
Oh,
According
wow.
to this, yeah. It looks terrible.
Oh, that looks horrible.
My god. That's Xbox? It looks like Nintendo 64.
I was just going to say, it looks like 64
Yeah.
graphics.
Number 6 is Bubsy 3D, The Forbidden Fruit. Now, none of the Bubsy games are good, but this one was a nightmare.
I don't like the Bubsy games at all. So, yeah.
I mean, he was bad in 2D, and then they made him 3D, and it was like taking a piece of shit and covering it in puke.
Oh,
Which I've seen, by the way.
That's pretty bad.
Did I ever tell you that story? I'm going to tell it right here on
Nope,
List
nope,
Critics.
I've never heard it.
When I was in high school, this was my senior year. It was actually one of the last days of school, and me and my friend George were bumming around the cafeteria, you know, not going to class because we were like a week away from graduation, and seriously, fuck it. And we're in the cafeteria, and he's like, I gotta take a piss. He really talked like that. So I'm like, yeah, I gotta take a piss too. So we go to the bathroom, and there's this one bathroom that like pretty much nobody used because it was in a weird place. So we went in there, and somebody had been in there previously and taken a shit in the urinal. And it was one of those urinals that are like set into the walls, and they were it goes all the way down to the floor.
It's like a South Park episode.
Yeah, well, when I saw that South Park episode, I'm like, yeah. Except it wasn't like it was in the wall urinal. It wasn't like the ones that jut out. So it was this huge pile of shit, like just sitting there, and I thought it was the funniest thing ever. And George thought he was very squeamish, and he was all grossed out, and he's like, "Oh God, I'm gonna fucking puke," and all this shit, right? And I'm like, I'm gonna fucking take a piss on this shit. So I go over there and I empty my hose all over this fucking huge pile of shit. Keep in mind I was 16 years old, so cut me some slack. So I do that, and he gets so grossed out that he pukes. But guess where he pukes?
On the shit.
On the shit and piss. So I'm like washing my hands, and I'm hearing him puke, and then I look around, and he's puking on the shit and piss. And I was just like, all we need is for some Japanese guy to come in here and jerk off, and it's done.
Oh, wow. That's
All right. Moving on to the list, number 5 is Plumbers Don't Wear Ties. I think a game that no one would have ever heard of if it wasn't for the angry video game nerd.
And he ripped it to pieces too. So yeah.
I think that he ripped it to pieces, but on a weird level, I think he enjoyed it in a way. Because it's like you could tell he was having fun making fun of it. You know what I mean?
It was so bad. It's just
It certainly didn't take itself seriously. I mean, there was an outtake that they left in.
Yeah.
You know, my favorite part of that review is, and I remember when I watched it with Julie, she was lost her shit at this point too. Was when he goes, something happens and then there's like dogs barking and applause.
Oh yeah, I remember
and he
that.
goes, dogs are clapping. Now there are dogs clapping. I didn't even know dogs were watching. Number 4 is Superman for N64. Of course, they call it Superman 64, but it's just called Superman.
Of course.
I've played it. It's shit. I mean, it shouldn't have been released.
It's worse than shit. It's
it's shit. I honestly though, I think that a lot of these games on here are worse than Superman, but like Baby's Kids is far more painful to play.
Oh, hell yeah.
But Superman is no slouch. It's probably the worst N64 game I've ever played.
Yeah.
Number 3 is well, they're very specific. They're mentioning Desert Bus on Sega CD, which was actually one of the mini games in Penn and Teller's game, which actually wasn't even released, so you can't even really bitch about it that much.
I never played it, so yeah.
It wasn't released, so
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
like Angry Video Game Nerd actually talked about this when he reviewed Drax Night Out, which was an unreleased NES game, and he said, you know, it sucks, but hey, it wasn't released. It's like somebody buries a turd and then you dig it up and then you bitch that it's a turd.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so I can't really complain about that. Number 2 is any adult game by Atari. Well, not by Atari really, but by Mystique, who's making those games. The example screenshot they use, of course, is Custer's Revenge.
Custer's Revenge.
Offensive on so many levels.
I remember your video you did on it.
That's one of my favorite videos that I've done.
I made that video for my co-founder, CEO, Richie, and
Richie, yeah.
he every time I play it for him, his mind just goes numb.
And finally, number 1 is E.T. on Atari.
E.T., the worst game ever created.
I disagree with that, but that's only because I've played Hong Kong 97
And Crazy Bus.
and Crazy Bus. Crazy Bus is definitely the worst game ever made. But I don't expect to see it on the list because it's like so obscure, you know. But that's the top 15 lousy video games that should never have been made, and well, like, there's nothing on here that I disagree with. I wish it was more to the list, like, because there's a lot more games that shouldn't have been made.
Like Mortal Kombat Advance.
Oh my god, why did you have to bring that up? Holy snap nipples. I had almost forgotten how monstrously ass that game was.
That seriously, Mortal Kombat Advance should have been on there. It really should have. That game.
That's the only game that EGM ever gave a 0 to.
Yeah, I don't know why it wasn't on there. It should have been. It really should have been. I would have put that right below ET.
Well, I like what they have on here. I can't disagree with anything. I'm going to say 15 out of 15.
I will agree. 15 out of 15.
Yeah.
But they should have expanded on it.
Yeah, fucking Aquaman and Bebe's Kids, and it's just like, really? Really?
And it makes you wonder why these games were released in the first place. It really does. You know, who greenlit these things?
Well, you notice that a lot of them are licensed games, so you know, E.T., Bebe's Kids, you know, Aquaman, Shaq Fu.
Let's make a game based on a license and see how.
Yeah, Superman. You know, I mean, the porno games. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking there. The VTech game, that's just stupid and offensive.
Yeah.
But you know what one game that definitely should have been on here. Definitely above all other games should have been on here is Big Rigs Off the Road Racing.
Ah, You're absolutely
Because,
right.
okay, I'm just going to list a few things that are wrong with it. One, you can't lose because the other trucks, and this is a racing game, never move from the start line.
That's right.
Two, there's no collision detection, so even if you suck at driving, you can drive straight through everything.
That's right.
Three, there is no limit to acceleration if you're going in reverse, and people on YouTube have managed to break the speed of light in the game.
Yep.
So, that's just...
It's
And I honestly think that the Mafia had to have been involved in that. I think I might have talked about this in a previous episode when I had Armageddon Time as my co-host, but this is what I see happening. I see it like, these Mafia guys show up because they're funding this game, and they're like, how's it coming along? And they go, oh, it's coming along pretty good. We have the basic engine done. And it's like, okay, we need it out by next week. They're like, well, no, I mean, it doesn't have any collision detection or AI or anything. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck is that? Listen to me. It needs to be out by next week. Capiche?
yeah.
So, they released something that was like version 0.02,
It's like before alpha. Seriously, it really is.
Yeah,
It's
definitely pre-alpha. I mean,
It's
holy shit.
Mortal Kombat Advance and Big Rigs should have been on there. They really should have.
Mortal Kombat Advance. Well, see, Mortal Kombat Advance, I don't know if it qualifies because that was more of a butchered port. You know what I mean?
I don't know. It just...
Because the game it was based on was good. It was just the translation. Something was lost in translation.
Something.
Bringing it from arcade to Game Boy Advance, something fucked up.
When we saw your video, when everybody saw your video, it just it brought home to the fact that the game truly is that fucked up.
I was flabbergasted. I knew it was going to be bad, but I couldn't imagine a Mortal Kombat game being worse than what is that one on PlayStation?
Oh,
Special Forces.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, wow. But yeah, I qualify that one more as a crummy port than anything. These were all original ideas that just sucked.
Mystique games. I don't... It just...
I think I have one of their games coming up on my
oh, no.
request list. Let me see. Oh, no, I don't. I had to take it off. Somebody had requested one of the games that uses the trackball or whatever the hell it is, and I can't emulate that, really.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Trackball.
But you know what the funniest out of all those porno games was Night on the Town? You ever see that one?
Yes.
Where you're the knight and you gotta build the bridge and then you pork the princess and it's like really graphic, like anal sex on the Atari.
It's...
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Well, I got plenty of crappy games. Let me put it this way. Coming up soon on my request list, there's a game on Game Boy Color called Austin Powers Welcome to My Underground Lair.
Oh, no.
There is... You know what the chance of that being good is? -3.
That game. Oh, my God. I can't wait to see your video on that. That's going to be great.
I don't know. I can't imagine what the gameplay is like, but I kind of imagine it almost being like that NSYNC game that I had to play.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. Or maybe it'll be like Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, Winnie the Pooh. That's Richie's favorite. That's his favorite video.
That's my new favorite video. It used to be Garfield, now it's Winnie the Pooh.
And you know what? You're right. We actually should remake Winnie the Pooh instead of working on Chronicles of Darkwood episode 2. You're absolutely right.
Well, anyway, that's it for the show. So, thank you for coming on and doing guest co-host duties, Tanya.
You are quite welcome. It was awesome. Thank you.
Hope you had a load of fun talking about Obama dildos and baby's kids and all kinds of shit. I think the high point of the show was the Obama dildo. That was funny.
That was just hilarious.
No, actually, it was your reaction to the artificial hymen.
It still doesn't register within my mind.
When I was in high school, I had there was a teacher named Mr. Hyman.
Mr. Hyman.
Yeah, his name is Mr. Hyman.
I can't imagine what you guys were saying about this guy.
Actually, he was a really nice guy, and nobody had any problem with him.
Wow. See?
So, I thought his name was ridiculous, but I couldn't really make fun of him in good conscience because he was a solid guy. So he was a good teacher, and he was head of the history department. And I had this one history teacher whose name I unfortunately forgot, or I would look her up on Facebook and give her the finger over the internet, who was like the worst teacher ever. And she was the bane of my existence for a while. And one day she sent me over the edge. And you know what it's like when I'm not quick to anger. A lot of people think I'm quick to anger.
No, you're really not. It takes a while.
It takes a long amount of pure bullshit to get me angry. Like, I think the only time you've seen me legitimately angry is the other day when I had some issues with a certain relative that I was really pissed off at.
Yes.
That's when I was really pissed off. But anyway, I'm not quick to anger at all, but she finally sent me over the edge, and I went marching into Mr. Hyman's office to complain about her, and he helped me out a great deal there. So, there's a zero chance that he's listening, but if so, thanks, Mr. Hyman. That was awesome.
Aww.
You know what he did was he straight up told me that he was going to fire her.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And unfortunately, you can't fire a teacher in the middle of a term.
Ah, man.
You have to wait until the end of the term. So she was going to be gone. It was her first year, too. So she was going to be gone at the end of the year. And he guaranteed that all of her students were going to receive a passing grade, so don't worry about it.
Oh, sweet deal. Hey.
So, yeah. So it was just, oh, man. I hated that bitch. I wish I remember her name. I really do. I think I've blocked it out somehow. But anyway, that's the show. Hope you all enjoyed it. We'll see you guys next month. Send in those lists. PM them to me, whatever. And we'll critique them. So this is NecroVMX saying, peace out, fools.
Bye-bye.